divine journeys are very unique. Okay, if you resonate with being on a twin flame journey, there's a message coming through, and it's a message where it's going to be a collective that it speaks to specifically. When you first initially meet your divine person, it's often the case of this collective that it's your divine masculine. I say yours, the divine masculine, the external divine masculine, who might be going through certain upheavals in their life, okay? And when they're going through those upheavals and they're encountering that kind of chaotic kind of energy that they're trying to kind of hold down, when you're in contact with each other before that huge like separation, like the very initial meeting connection, they will want to move towards their divine feminine to find some kind of peace, some kind of something that just eases their energy, okay? It's going to feel like the right thing to do to go to her. Energies, not genders, okay? And divine intervention is so that she might not always be available, yeah, even though she wants to be, because that's where she learns healthy boundaries. But that comes after, okay? Initially, it's actually happens so that when later on in this, as the stages cycle through later on, the divine masculine can recognize that all that time he wasn't just being pulled towards someone who was like felt like comfort, or just for someone who's just gonna make him feel bad. It's genuinely he was being called back home to his own heart, okay? And this is again where the divine feminine will learn healthy boundaries, okay? Because what I'm getting with this collective is that overgiving, people pleasing kind of energy, wanting to be there for your person when they're going through, whether it's legal stuff, financial crises, upheavals in like marriage or connections, that kind of thing, okay? And if you have certain kind of boundaries or certain kind of character to begin with, you'll be like, well, I'm not here for that, right? But there's a part of you that will be still around because your divine masculine, you feel that pull back as well. That's been showing you where you need to find some direction for yourself. Again, assert those healthy boundaries, right? This is coming through for a reason, okay? It's also important to remember that when you're healing in that specific connection, very specific dynamic, not everyone's in that connection on that journey, right? It's not a bad or good thing. It just is what it is. Every soul has its own journey and its own purpose. That's very unique and important for the wider picture, okay? You're healing for the collective too. So you'll be processing a lot of different things. So divine feminine will be healing through a lot of what might be traditionally, stereotypically issues for feminine energies. And masculine will be doing that for the masculine energies, you know what I mean? And of course, there's that merging within as well. That's where you begin to see the intricacies of it and try to interweave that inner union within, right? Which is why there's so many different cycles, I suppose. And I always say the layers of yourself that you're unraveling, so many, right? Again, yes, collectively, generationally, lifetimes, your inner child, all of it, right? And for some reason, I'm being called to mention that the sacral chakra is massively connected to your inner child. Okay, so inner child wounds are connected to that. Don't forget your sacral chakra is really, there's creativity there. Yes, there's abundance, there's play, there's fun, there's pleasure, right? Again, that's come through for a reason here. Okay, I'm gonna do some tarot. I'm just gonna see who this message is for and what your message is, okay? But I also wanted to say that first of all, oh my god, Ace of Cups, overflowing love. Whoever this collective is, both of you, I feel like, are actually truly tapping into your heart space in a way where you're able to receive this message and not feel like you're triggered. You're actually understanding it. You want to understand it. You want to honor that space and time where you allow it. Oh my god, 9 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. You're preparing for emotional fulfillment, truly. Yeah, Ace of Cups and 9 of Cups, that's like a whole heap of happy cups, right? Emotional fulfillment. Your journey here is not to like spiritually bypass or completely ignore the dark and the shadows. Quite the opposite. You know that you rise. Not only do you rise, you burn to ashes in those fires, right? Every version of you that needs to be, everything that you're cycling through, and then you will rise. But your mission here isn't to spiritually bypass, like I just said, or ignore that. Your mission here is actually to get so deep in that frequency that you truly embody naturally, because you are that divine being, you're a divine vessel, you have that purpose here, which is why you have to go through so much darkness to really hone in on that light, anchor it down, so that actually amidst the chaos you can hold that frequency still, because not a lot of people can. That's part of your mission. That's so unique and so crucial, yeah, for you to be able to do that. Which is why often you might find that you're in solitude, you know, because you're still you're literally interweaving that inner union I mentioned within you in a way where you can hold it down collectively. You're connected to like literally earth grids, energy grids. Sometimes you're called to a place because you need to be there, not even to like you don't even know what to do, but you all these different accents, but you're there to hold something down. It's divine orchestration. 7 of Cups. 10 of Wands in reverse. I love how this thing coming in reverse, to laying your burdens down. You've got so many possibilities moving forwards, and this beautiful Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Hi, in your power. You phoenixed, you know. But I think, you know, you can have many phoenix moments, you know, because you go through that dark night of the soul, many of those as well, and you strip back so much of yourself that you almost think that how you can't even love anymore, but oh my god, your heart suddenly opens even more, and there's suddenly even more overflowing love, just like here in this fountain, right? It's a big part of your purpose, because through that darkness you are here to, it sounds so, you know, cliche, but you are here to shine that light, and that happens from you grounding that frequency in, which is exactly why there's a separation, so you're both so powerful. You don't want to, you know, even being in each other's frequency, you will be aware that when you're with each other physically, how it feels. It's so much power, so intense, but not even intense. It feels so, at the same time, it feels like it's home, right? You have so much electricity, and you're beginning to understand this differently. You're not, whoever this collective is specifically, you're not resisting it anymore. You're not blaming and shaming. You're actually holding space, understanding that just like you, they're going through it. 3 of Swords, deep emotional pain, 100%. And that's what you're walking away from. Not even because you're walking away, it's because you've genuinely dealt with, you're dealing with it. You're dealing with it, you know, in a way where that Ace of Cups wants to come through. You're laying those burdens down, but you're recognizing where you don't need to keep carrying that and moving forward. You have a purpose here, and you're embodying, truly stepping into that purpose. Rainbows could be important. 5 of Wands. Wow. That deep emotional pain it's literally been clashes with people around you, the Lovers. And I also think maybe you and your person here, unhealthy patterns, yeah. That's what needs to be highlighted. Whatever this is, these personality clashes came with you, those unhealthy patterns that I mentioned when, you know, at the beginning, that message that was coming through, like you need to learn healthy boundaries. They need to recognize how they're detached from their heart and their home, their true home, not just like all this 3D stuff. So you could come back to this union energy. You're clearly stepping into union energy, and it's all beginning within, because it does. That's the whole, like, that's one of the biggest things here. To get there, you go within, because that's where you both exist, within each other anyway. Whoever this is, I feel like you're truly understanding that there's a purpose to the pain. And that's what you're focusing on. You're not focusing on, oh my god, the pain, and like literally allowing yourself to fall into that, because you do at the beginning. You know, all of you completely, yeah, over and over again and again, you know. Oh, 8 of Wands, gaining momentum there. So I think that once again, I feel like there's also this overgiving energy. Someone's coming through with this overgiving energy. You have so much love, but you need to learn to pour into yourself, right? Yeah. You're learning the right way to invest in yourself, which allows you to then help others around you, the purpose that you're truly for, and also to recognize who and what is aligned with you. Yeah, there's been a lack of direction, and that's why it's kind of like there are so many possibilities, but it's gone from sort of like confusion, which one do I choose, where do I go, what do I do, to finally understanding that you know, I have these possibilities around me. It's time to start recognizing what truly fuels my heart, what feels like it's right. Five of coins in reverse. That's good. And that's come out with 10 of wands in reverse. Definitely, there's some kind of external change taking place here. There's a huge shift. You know, the people around you, the places, maybe. I'm hearing somebody might have moved. It might be a new environment or something. Truly a shift. But you're not feeling like you're cold and alone anymore, you know? Yeah, I think that's something you've been over again and again. That might have been an inner child healing that you had to go through. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of this release, this needing to let go of that deep emotional pain. I think that's what's helping you to come out of the, you know, it says coming out of the woods kind of energy. To not feel that anymore. To not feel like you're just alone. You're releasing that, right? And I think that's by truly understanding the misalignments and why you even allowed those misalignments to begin with. And that's where you're recognizing your unhappy patterns, right? Now you're understanding there's so many possibilities, but which ones actually fuel my heart, which is full of overflowing love? Yeah, that subconscious mind, the high priestess. You might be very intuitive, so you might have already been aware that actually these people weren't for you. So then it's like, well, what was happening? Yeah. Ooh, two new beginnings. Ooh, Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles, both upright. That's beautiful. Passionate new start and a new beginning. And that's because that's high priestess. You've activated the high priestess within. That's both divine masculine, divine feminine. Both of you have that within you. Okay, you activate that beautiful energy within. And this is where you're understanding that actually more than anything you were fighting with yourself within. It was an internal fight. Okay. Something about temptations is coming. Yeah, resisting surrender, and that's come out with the devil. Again, Eight of Wands. So there is momentum that this unhealthy pattern, let's get another one just to confirm. This resisting surrender with that. Unhealthy patterns. Guilt and blame. Okay. Three of Cups as well. Guilt and blame. That's justice in reverse. They're big cards. Okay. Yeah, there was some kind of the unhealthy patterns is connected to, I'm seeing it could be literally like addictions, substances specifically, other people as well, the people, the crowds that someone was in, the environment. There were unhealthy attachments here, and someone's really feeling, I feel like they were fueled by somebody being in that lacking energy, you know, that Five of Coins before. And they were just feeling really, it's almost like just no self-worth, just pure self-blame. So they were just moving towards these unhealthy patterns, including the people and choices around them. King of Wands, natural born leader. And they ended up being unhealthy attachments, unhealthy patterns and unhealthy attachments. And I think this is something that actually they're still, for a very long time, they did resist that surrender and welcome change here. So clearly something had to happen there. Something had to happen in order for, so there's a lot of divine intervention when it comes to this specific journey that we're speaking on. Okay, worth fighting for, manifesting your dreams. So this is somebody who they're understanding with the one worth fighting for, manifesting your dreams. Just seeing that they're seeing that picture ahead, which is why they're feeling so guilty about their choices in the past. Okay, Five of Cups. They're in kind of, I think that I'm hearing shame and sorrow specifically, and that's come up with guilt and blame as well, so that's a lot. But they're seeing what was worth fighting for, oh my god, and then celebrating union, Four of Wands underneath that. Whoa. Yeah, they're ending that chapter when it comes to that really dark energy. Okay, I'm going to get two things. I'm going to find out the messages for the Divine Feminine here from this deck, then the Divine Masculine, because they're both coming through, so feels like it's just like already, no, it's not specified. I think it's just you're both understanding your journey better. So let's see what this message is. It's that passionate start, a new beginning. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get another one from Tarot for that. We'll take these. Ace of Wands and Ace of Coins. Once you really honor that High Priestess and you recognize actually your misalignment was truly just your wounds clashing with each other, your darkness, your shadows, almost as if they would have actually worked so well together in a way of the worst possible thing that could happen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So better times ahead, but there's been a lack of perspective. That's what it feels like. your shadows were so triggered by each other. That's what I meant there. That your shadows were so triggered by each other that there was just, and you just, I think someone didn't understand that it wasn't just like the surface level. This, you're not the right person for me. All these different things that you notice in your person, and you're just like, be like this, be like this. But then they're doing all that collective healing too. You're recognizing as you step into your subconscious mind where it was you, where you've been lacking perspective, to find that balance back. There are better times ahead, okay? Ace of Wands and Ace of Coins as well. Yeah, there's been a lack of faith here, but you're ending that chapter, the world. That's where there's I think this is where this message has come through, to remind you what journey you're on, to remind you, it's way more about you than just about what's happening outside of you. This star in reverse, it really is. And then you've got the Fool here as well. So they're ending that chapter so that you can begin this new one moving forwards. And it feels passionate, it feels stable, but it all starts within your mind. The heart there. How can you, how much you are truly overcoming the internal barriers right now, okay? Okay, so Divine Feminine. What does Divine Feminine here need to know? What can we confirm? Yeah. Snowflake, one of a kind, and waterfall there, overflowing abundance, number 9 and number 34. Original, delicate, vulnerable, one of a kind, handle with care, fragile. This is how Divine Feminine's feeling right now, fragile. There's something maybe in her environment that was coming through, that she's just feeling really vulnerable right now. So it's kind of like activating that inner Divine Masculine to find your safety. Overflowing abundance though, you're feeling the release, you're letting go of that, the chasing energy that you can be in, or just like needing that external validation, needing your person, needing the connection. It's like you're releasing that, and it's fine. You're finding that fulfillment within you, and that's where those tears of joy are coming. That's where that overflowing love is. Like you're recognizing all that time it was your own love you were craving. It was your own love that you were here to pour out, which is why you're learning how to pour it within you. You're finding your direction. Wow. Could be something coming back around. Maybe it's your health, some kind of energy burst that you're feeling. Could be even maybe friendships or something. So I'm hearing number 34 again. That's important. Gears, ideas into action. So you're understanding that actually you need to take the action to put that purpose into place. You're following your heart. Progress. There's progress for you. It's going to be. It's all happening in perfect timing. You might be receiving a lot of synchronicities right now. It feels like a smooth transition. It doesn't feel so hard like it has before. Okay. And everything's happening in divine timing. It might be that you'll be working. I feel like you're preparing to actually work together. Not just like it's got to be how I want it or it's my needs, and not understanding that actually somebody else has their journey too. They have their needs too, right? You're understanding that. You're getting much better at being a team player, if you will. Let's get another one for you. Yeah. You could be receiving some kind of communication, number 27 and number 7. Again, I feel like you're getting better at communicating. That's beautiful. And you're honouring your vulnerability here. I think you're getting better at communicating your vulnerabilities. You're not afraid of it anymore. This is where that fulfillment and that tear of joy is coming through, because you're able to honestly express yourself now. Written documents, records, mail. Keep an eye on what's coming through for you. You might use your notepads quite a lot as well. Your notepad in your phone. So whatever this emotional release that you're going through, that you've tried again and again, it's like you've been here before the cycle, right? You're finally releasing in such a way that it's closing out that cycle, the ending of that chapter. It's coming towards something where you can now open something else. You're welcoming something else. And I think that's something to do with your path of purpose. Okay, let's get another one for you, Divine Feminine. Winding road. God, it feels like a winding road. It feels like it's just like taking it forever. But you've learned flexibility. You've learned patience. It's not an easy lesson, but you're doing it, okay? Personal growth, you have grown so much. It's truly, you might be a mutable sign, or you just might be really flexible, You're learning your soul spark right now. Adventure, you might be someone who likes adventure, like Queen of Wands has come out before, okay? You're exploring. You might actually have somewhere to explore. Number 28 as well. You're learning how to use tact. Again, that communication for you is a big thing. Learning how to communicate healthily whilst you're taking another person's feelings into account. This is a two-way thing, because you both trigger each other in energy. So it's kind of like you both really need to learn how to hold that space for each other without just triggering each other. You need to learn those trigger points. You're going to need to, in order to be able to truly communicate with each other, because the way you trigger each other, it's not even like it's purposeful or anything. It's like it just happens, and then that's what I mean. You've really got to have the right conversations. Oops. The star fell there. That's interesting. So you were lacking faith, but this is saying don't lack faith. Something's going to come back around. That came out, popping out before. Masculine energy. So this is where you've got grounding on your own masculine energy, because this masculine energy will come back around when the time is right. Oh my God, and there's a yes card as well. Ooh. Someone's clearing through. Okay, so that's the feminine, but again, you will be getting some kind of it's like your momentum is coming back to you. People saying you were right, the return of what's yours. So, sometimes people might think you're crazy or something on this, if you speak about the journey. I always say, be mindful of who you speak to, if you speak to anyone. Okay, divine masculine. Getting this energy for divine feminine as well, calling your power back to you, reclaiming what's yours. Divine masculine is aging like fine wine. That's good. Good. They need to, especially if they're dealing with like collective healing and their own stuff. They could be stuck in that Peter Pan syndrome, right? So this is a good card. Developing over time, flavor, the good stuff, finesse, alchemy, transformed, ripening, aging well, flavor. I think they're getting much more clearer on their goals and they're becoming much more focused. Maybe they already were determined. That King of Wands wanted to come through before as well underneath, so at the bottom of the deck. So maybe they are, really honing in that leadership qualities, and it's kind of they're finding that balance between the head and heart is what I'm hearing as well. What fire lights them up, that fire, without them feeling that guilt and blame as a result. Big deal. Wow. Number 19, perfect timing, the clock. I'm seeing something about a clock, maybe a watch. Watches could be important for someone. This divine masculine. Oh my God, masculine again. Origins, incremental, standing the test of time, unstoppable. They're becoming a force to be reckoned with. Don't forget that divine masculine, the things they go through when it. Feminine does too, but I'm talking about specifically. That's where they get their biggest spiritual awakenings, their physical 3D breakdowns, losses, health issues, illnesses, losing people. It's very, very sad, very dark. Okay, but they're becoming unstoppable because they're finding that strength within, and for a long time they didn't have it. Unhealthy patterns, unhealthy attachments, guilt and shame, blame, resisting surrender, lacking faith. That means they're good. Past, present and future. So they're really uniting. I'm hearing specifically past lives as well, so they're clearly been clearing through something about that. But there's something about that forward vision. They're wanting to, again, that boomerang. Let's see what else for this masculine energy. They're wanting to unite the past, present and future in some way. Okay. And I feel like maybe it is to do with this connection, but okay. Oh, masculine energy again. God, they want to come through because that masculine energy just keeps showing up. Always at the bottom of the deck though. Number 36. 36 was coming through before this reading. That's an important number. Church. Yeah, this is clearly this is what they've had to understand. The traditional programming, the collective consciousness, structures, belief systems, dogma. Could be to do with family values, religion, marriage, as it's known in society. Yeah. Not in that sacred union sense, but more you'll get it. We all need to go there. Yeah. That's why it's perfect timing. Maybe they've had to deal with a lot of that. Maybe even marriage. That was coming through before. But certainly the unhealthy attachments. And I think that's also the mindset. Maybe they were brought up in a very traditional setting, or just they had that around them. I think there's something happening where they're begin to see through the veil. They're seeing things clear. This is not right. This is not healthy. This is not unity. This is division. This is separation. It's actually separating them from their own heart and soul. Yeah, mice. There could be, this is what I was just mentioning, loss, decay, reduction, stress, illness, fatigue, everything I just mentioned. So they've clearly been going through that. And that's because they've been having to heal this. Which is why, again, they probably did fall back to those unhealthy patterns of the known comforts. Karmic cycles, big deal. And that's why it felt like an unwelcome change, whatever divine intervention took place, or whatever was happening, because it was their comfort, it was their safety, it was their known. Okay, but they were sitting in darkness, they were sitting in grief and pain. Okay, yeah, coffin, closing that out. Closing it out, number 8 and number 9, August and September maybe. Or the 8th of September, death, loss, inactive, or the 9th of August, forgotten. You know, they might very well have dealt with, like, you know, that loss as well. It's coming up a few times for this one. Being defeated, feeling down and out. Maybe they had near-death experience, you know. It's a lot. Breakup, yeah, they definitely went through a breakup, whatever this unhealthy thing is here. Makes sense. Karmic energies, they have to go through it to learn, to find their strength, to find their truth. Important, which is why, you know, I want to make very clear that divine feminine, when you're clearing and healing through your energy system, your emotional system, that helps your divine masculine so much. Literally, I can't even put it into words. So it's important for you to recognize that and stay on top of your game, not attached to them, not in like resentment or anything like that. This is why you have to clear through so much of your own layers, because those things will come up. They have to, so you can clear through them. That's the whole point, right? Helps them. Okay, get another one for the divine masculine energy for this particular collective. He's currently seeing manifesting that union that was coming through. They're clearly ending this chapter, which is why that coffin's come out with that world end of a chapter. Makes sense. Okay, boss, bear. They could be like big, maybe muscular, or just like have quite a presence. Okay, doesn't have to be muscular. Just like they have a physical presence that can't be of like, you wouldn't miss it kind of energy, something about them. Okay, boss, CEO, finance, affluence. They're focused on the finances for sure. Protective, very divine masculine, so that's very good if they're feeling that. Wealth, rich. Wow. There could be someone that other people go to as well for advice or just anything like that, you know. Mentoring, I'm hearing. Number 15 and 10. I'm hearing that maybe they do have young people around them who go to them for like, I don't know, just guidance or something. Interesting. Let's get something for the connection now. So let's see about this particular connection. Let's come through. Number 25. Okay, we've got the Maverick, rule breakers. Yeah, you're not conforming. This connection doesn't conform to societal programming and the traditional relationships and all the stuff, psych pop usually, that you hear online or whatever. Outside the box. Fearless, rebelling, bold, unconventional. Okay, messages for this particular connection, for this collective. Whoa, too many? So like yes again. All right. Milky Way. Oh, maybe you connected online. Oh, the King and Queen of Wands wanted to come through. You might be, either you met online or you're going to be your union is going to need to be seen. Whatever your purpose is, you're here to light. You're going to light up your message. That you might already have some kind of platform, and that's for a reason. There's a massive reason of you two and some kind of fame. I say fame, but mainly it's just going to be kind of like publicity. Social media is big. Maybe you, like I say, maybe you met online or something, but there's definitely something about exposure online for your connection. Okay, you met on the internet. This is coming through big. Okay, something about your connection on the internet. It's a big deal. Okay, Firefly. I was looking at moving forward, so I do think there's something about your connection that's going to be important online, and you're going to have the spotlight on you. Okay, you're going to have some kind of exposure. So clearly you must have a platform already. Okay, one of you at least, but I think both of you. Number 11 and number 20 here, Firefly, illumination, your soul spark, your creative spark. You're both exceptional. You see that, you actually see that in each other. This is what I mean. This is where you're at now. You're getting to that point where you're like, wow, you're magical. I'm magical. Our connection is magical, even though you're individually still doing your thing. There's chemistry here. Of course there is. Self-discovery, you massively ignited your self-discovery within each other, more than meets the eye. And you're understanding that about each other. You don't know, all the stories that you can make up in separation about each other and wanting this closure and making, you kind of, I feel like you're at the point where you've released that and you're just allowing the unfold and you're trusting in that because you're connecting more to divine, which is important on this path. You focus on you. It's kind of like you're ready, that, you know what, we're ready. This is going to come through when the time is right. Okay, now there might be some kind of jealousy here. Okay, this is where someone can end up being a bit lacking perspective and lacking faith. So again, there's still something about betrayal wounds that's being healed through. Maybe you felt betrayed in this connection, but silent treatment, you might have experienced that kind of energy with each other. Love, sexual energy here. Okay, maybe there was a child as well. That boy was at the bottom of the deck there. Maybe you did feel that backstab. Again, iceberg, more than meets the eye. There's something about this. looking deeper, mysterious, subconscious, buried memories, illusion. I think that there's something about your past lives that you're going to need to heal through as well and look through. Complex, but you've definitely felt the cold energy. I think it's a two-way thing. Whether you realize it or not, you both felt really cold by each other. So it's kind of like you're finding this internal balance. Okay, connection, this particular connection, messages for this particular connection moving forward as well. Let's find out. All right, let's find out. I think you're both hearing through those red flags right now. That devil energy, you're really healing through that, and you're really facing it right now. Okay, there's something about being mindful as well about your community that is around you and what they're telling you and who you're listening to, especially when it comes to this connection. Are you, again, be mindful who you're speaking to. You have to be, and what you're saying, because that's going to come back to around. Trust me. You just got to number 20, number 8, number 22. It's a red flag as well. So that's that red flag behavior. There's more than thoughts. You're going to have to clear through so much of this like lack of clarity, this hesitation, this confusion, these misunderstandings that you had with each other. Communication as well at the bottom of the day. This, again, that communication is a big deal. You're really going to need to clear through this. Okay? And be mindful of that sexual energy leading you, especially when you come together. It's that date energy is here, and with that red flag, be mindful. Maybe this is what happened in the past, you know. So maybe you need to work on that sexual energy just within you, like learning how to harness that and allow it to flow. Again, that magnet seduction, that yearning, that longing, that desire. Wow, big. Okay, what else do you need to be aware of for your connection moving forwards? There's so much like lack of clarity here. Feminine energy, rider here, there's a message coming through. I think that you'll need to travel to see each other. Okay, good. So you've got the sunrise and the big yes energy here. So you've got the sun and the sunrise, so that's good. So right now you are going through the darkness, right? There's some kind of darkness that you're healing through. Number 6 and number 31. There's a happy beginning, new day, darkest before dawn, hope, clarity, obstacles overcome, problems end, bright future, awakening, fresh start. The fresh start comes once you clear through these foggy glasses, these clouds, right? That comes with the messaging, and that comes with you learning how to actually communicate with each other, because that's only going to come when you're ready to have the right communication and you don't repeat past cycles. Not being led by lust, not going like 0 to 100 with like that passion, but you know what? Centering yourself, finding balance within, being aware of what's coming up with you, and being honest about it. You have to communicate with each other about it, you know. So you're gonna have to learn how to be vulnerable with each other and be okay with that. Number 31. Yeah, sun, yes, energy. What's going on? Power, fulfilled, radiant, success, climaxed. Daytime could be important. Definitely something beautiful coming through, but you are right now being shown what could sabotage this, your own red flag stuff, whatever is happening outside of you, the connections that you're making, the lack of clarity, you know. Don't be this loose cannon energy. It's really important right now. I'm just going to get some romance cards just to give you some more clarity, because I think that you have so much love in your heart space, but I don't think that you're I think that you're still learning how to fully access that in a way where you can also give and receive in balance, giving your relationship a chance. So you're going to be working on your partnership together, which comes with you saying yes to working on yourself internally. You have to be devoted to that to find your inner alignment. That's one of the best things you can do for this connection, okay? Soul person, trust, okay? So yes, you're being given the yes that this is your soul person. I'm just going to get another one for this Ace of Cups as well. And Ace of Coins, which was in reverse. So time to start working on that heart space, not avoiding it. Again, that vulnerability, right? Okay. Queen of Coins. Queen of Coins, beautiful, knowing her worth. So that's good. So Ace of Coins to Queen of Coins. So you're going to be holding it down. Knight of Coins was also in reverse. So let's find out about that. Just I'm hearing like it's time to get on that horse and see your vision ahead. So horses could be significant here. Something about horses. Oh, okay, so the Hierophant. Oh, and there's a 9 of... rewards for your labour. Wow, and then 6 of Coins. Okay, there's definitely stability. Where there's been lack of stability, lack of direction, too much confusion, which is all here, there's stability moving forwards. The Hierophant, that's major stability. That's higher level. Okay, but again, it's non-conforming. It's not conforming to the collective consciousness and the programming, the systems. We know this. I speak about this a lot, right? So everything that you've been from a very young age, you were told that who you need to be, what you need to be, what society is, what it isn't, all that kind of stuff that just actually causes division within you from your own heart, where you're following that, but also around you. Time to chart your own course. Time to say, no, this is my path. not this. And that's where you're finding your biggest support, stability, and that's also where you're going to get rewards for your labor. Nine of Coins, you're finding your worth. Beautiful. I think this is a two-way thing, because this Six of Coins is you two giving and receiving in balance. So you're learning how to give and receive. Again, that Eight of Wands, it just keeps wanting to come through, but it doesn't come out. Gaining momentum, that's also conversation. So that's going to happen once you find that inner stability. Oh, Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Right, are there any other additional messages for the Divine Feminine? Divine Feminine. Any additional message for the Divine Feminine? Alright, so you're going through an up level, an ascension for sure. Winter time, air and water could be important here, okay? So Gemini and Pisces as well. There's something for you. So within the next 2 months, I think that there's something about your stability. You know, that said you focus on the path of purpose, and these gears are coming into like motion. They're feeling more smooth, and these communications, something about that for you that's really going to start to develop and really start to ground during winter time as well. Okay, one more for the Divine Feminine. What do you need to be aware of? Anything? The Moon, High Priestess, again, you're tapping into that High Priestess, your inner knowing, your intuition. You know when to stay silent. Something about secrets as well here, so something needs to be aired. Okay, something needs to be spoken. That's the Moon energy as well. You're definitely tapped in. All right, Taurus energy's just come through. Spring is a big deal. Spring maybe should be your favourite season, or maybe Queen of Earth as well. So something about springtime is important for you. I'm hearing maybe a birthday, or maybe just some kind of important date that connects you. Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine. What does Divine Masculine need to be aware of? Moving forwards, like these next few months, Divine Feminine, these are really pivotal for you. Twin Flames at the bottom of the deck. Reflecting, mirroring. I knew that was Divine Masculine. The Devil, again, Capricorn energy. So they're definitely going through their shadow right now. This is where they've been resisting surrender for so long. This is where they had unwelcome change, and now they're understanding justice is being put right. And this is where they're feeling that guilt and blame. Okay, this is what they have to go through. This is very Divine Masculine, to be honest. So it makes sense, and they're learning who and what aren't their people and their surroundings. That's a big deal, really big deal actually. They're clearly seeing this though. They're understanding what this is. They're understanding this is a twin flame, but there's a part of them that's still confused, still lacking that certainty. There's something within them, and I think it has to do with the unhealthy patterns that they're still healing at, and they're ending this chapter, and it's such I don't know, it's not easy for them. Like I said, it's been their comfort and safety for a long time, but they are seeing this. They're seeing this union. They're not, they see this. There's just confusion on how to move there right now. I'm also getting the message that there's a part in them that knows they need to be a certain version of themselves for this connection, and that's why they kind of stall, like they hold back sometimes. So clearly there's something about their worth that's, I don't think they want to repeat the past either. Okay, Divine Masculine, cards for the Divine Masculine. So whatever causes separation, Cancer season, they're getting their drive. They're very driven, right? The Chariot, willpower, determination, success, action. That's very Divine Masculine. Very good, very good. So then I think that they're getting that over that Devil energy. That's very good. That's because they're seeing that future vision. Remember, they're seeing that union. Very good. I feel like I'm a teacher or something. Very good. Keep saying that. Okay, Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine. What else do you need to be aware of? This is good because I feel like they've had that unwelcome change, but they're understanding the end of the chapter. So I feel like they've had to really shed so many skins, which I know that is a two-way, like Divine Feminine does too. But for them, like when it comes to their 3D constructs, that's such a big deal. They could be dealing with legal matters. That was coming through before. Libra energy. Oh, God, they're going to be coming into their abundance. That was coming through before, I think. Success. They are working on their finances. Good for them. And that's what's helping them to move away from this Devil energy. The unhealthy patterns, because they're seeing that they're not aiding this success. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, beautiful expansion is going to be happening. There's a turning point, their growth, their destiny. They're really on the destiny path. Justice will come out again for them. Let's get another one. Divine Masculine. Beautiful. Really a pivotal moment of their healing right now. Okay, truly. There could be a fixed sign, purpose driven. Beautiful, beautiful. They're realizing what is worth Remember that Seven of Wands, what is worth fighting for? They're realizing what is worth investing their energy in and themselves in anyway, right? They're understanding this. They're becoming more secure. They're reliable. They're very keep on, very persistent. That keeps coming through massively for this. They're carrying on no matter what. Okay, water signs could be important. They're learning how to honor their emotion at the same time as well. Okay, connection. What do you need to know for your connection? You need to be aware for your connection. I'm also getting the energy where they were, you know, that at the beginning of the message, that craving the divine feminine, temperance here. I think they're learning how to find balance in that, because they're learning that actually that's their inner feminine as well, right? Moderation, harmony, peace, balance, Sagittarius energy. Ooh, something's happening for them in 7 days. King of Fire. Could be a fire sign. King of Wands did come out before. This also gives that Emperor energy with this particular deck. So this is good. They're on the right track, right? They're going to do their own path, their way. You have to trust that. You have to trust them to do that. Their 3D version that you've known, that's where you need to release. That's helping you to see where your patterns are still stuck. You hold faith in what divine is showing you, what divine is unfolding for you, which is why you call that energy back to you. Have faith, have trust that they're doing exactly what they need to do, just as you are, and they will be guided to take the action that they need to take. Faith in that. It's made me feel really warm. Something about that. It's like, oh, my heart. Maybe that's how they would feel if they knew that's how you truly, okay, respond or whatever. Oh, I feel really warm. This is really sweet. This energy is cute. Wow. Okay, so within 7 days, something about 7. Fire sign is, again, big here, as usual, for me in my readings. I love that though, so it's beautiful. Okay, another one for your connection. Something about 7 days. For your connection. There's something about that. Wow. My cheeks are really hot still from saying that. So maybe you're going to find that vulnerability in communication is going to be a big deal for both of you. Especially if like you both come out of the King and Queen of Wands. You're very like, maybe you had that ego thing. You have to check your own ego with each other. Okay. Be surprised that how you both might feel the same. Okay. Especially with that temperance, that finding moderation and balance with your inner cups, so you can come together with those cups. Autumn time, within 1 to 2. Okay. So clearly, within the next week, something's happening here for your connection. I mean, that communication card did come through with that boomerang, so there could be something like that, but there's something about finding moderation, because clearly some kind of healing that still needs to take place before union, okay? That is big. But I think that there's going to be a need. Maybe there's something that comes forward and you're going to know that, hold on, I need to still give you space. We still need to heal through. That doesn't mean that you need to, have a crazy separation again. It's just that honouring the space. That's why this give your relationship a chance and trust came through, because that's going to help you both. That giving and receiving. Giving and receiving includes the time and space. Let's get another one just to confirm what this is for you. How you need to respond maybe, or the guidance that just wants to come through. God, winter must be important for you, significant as well. Virgo, the Hermit, full-time big yes energy here. Okay, there's still soul searching happening. Okay, so you're finding inner alignment, into enlightenment, but again, alignment, yeah. Okay, I think that you're going to get some kind of confirmation that you're both moving on from the past, right? Which is a good thing, which means that you're getting into more alignment to move forwards together with that forward vision, right? So you can find your alignment. Virgo energy could be important here as well. Got Taurus as well, Pisces, Gemini, we said that, and Libra. Libra's come out a few times as well, actually. So you're going to need your own time. You're going to need that still. Okay. Libra again. No way. Justice. Divine justice is unfolding. We are in eclipse season as I record this, so maybe there's a fair and balance. There's truth coming. Oh my God, the Hierophant again, and then the Lovers. There's definitely high level on the cards for both of you. Like, I'm talking high level. Marriage had come out before, right? So whatever that means, like how that you interpret that. Alignment, partnership, love, openness, faith, tradition. You're both going to be you both have this leadership quality within you, right? There's going to be truth. I just feel like there's some kind of truth coming through that's going to really allow you to go back into yourself and honor the cycles where you are. So it's kind of like a truth that will bring you some kind of internal closure as well. Not that you're seeking it. That's important. You're not seeking it anymore. But this is going to really help you to find balance. There might be some kind of legal matters as well that you're going to learn about, okay? But there's going to be some kind of fairness that you're going to feel so dealt with correctly, if that makes sense. But this, and then the Hierophant, it's helping you to step. These are big milestones, okay? It's going to help you to really Also to help you allow the divine unfold, I think. Okay, so this is really specific. I feel like it's one of those readings that you needed to hear just to like give you some kind of peace of mind and clarity about what's happening right now, and that actually you're not crazy. Okay, which can sometimes be the case. Again, be very discerning with my readings. Watch all past tunes so that ensure that it's reading is for you. So I just wanted to get some message cards from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. Firstly, yeah, number one, karmic ties. It says they're not happy. Karma, behaviors, people, situations are playing a role in what's happening with them, and it's hard for them to see a way out. That makes sense. That's what maybe the unwelcome change is actually something that's keeping them stuck in that they're finding a way out. And you know what their biggest driver is? Seeing that union ahead. Wow, that's big. I felt that. Communication, number four, communication. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything you say and even replay our conversations in my head. Union card at the bottom of the deck. You've got to remember your worth, both of you. Divine masculine to divine feminine. Divine masculine to divine feminine. What was that? Okay, number six. Growth. I miss you. Let's both stop running away. So they're definitely feeling this. Okay, communication again. Words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I feel talking to you. That was coming through before. So there is something about the past that's still holding on to that they need to release. And that's because, when it triggers you, that means you've got to really, on this particular journey, you've got to go within as well. I mean, everyone takes accountability. No excuse. None of this message is an excuse for abusive relationships. I want to make that clear. That's not what this is about, okay? You'll know if this is a message for you. Not feeding your shadow. Calling you to your light, okay? Okay, interesting. I'm going to get... These are normally divine masculine, divine feminine, but I'm going to get a quick one to see if divine feminine has a message to divine masculine for this particular collective. Okay, union straight away. Love that. Number six. That's exactly why this divine masculine is where they're at now, because clearly divine feminine, you've had a lot of progress. Really, that was coming through with that gears. Number six. Our love will manifest through the union of heart and mind. Expanding these areas allows our love to grow. Heart and mind connection. Beautiful. And sometimes it's good not to just stay attached to a label. Remember that. It's all about you coming back to your truth, your divine truth, your divine love. Another union card. See, she's on it. She knows what's up. 7 could be important. The universe brought us together for a reason. I'm discovering what these reasons are. I think there's something about, when you know your purpose, but then you try to start to understand, actually, we have a purpose together, especially with that Milky Way. You're going to be seen. Or maybe you both are. I don't know. You have a purpose here. And she's understanding that. Oh my God, the same card. You both got this. Number 8. Words have hurt. The communication card. Words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I feel talking to you. This is a two-way thing. Massive mirroring thing. It makes sense. Especially when you're in that connection. Because you are scared. That's why that was coming through before as well. That I needed to say that message. Like, you are scared that you're going to trigger each other again. It's going to be out of your control or something. This is why you have to be vulnerable in your communication. You have to be honest. You know what, that's kind of making me feel like this. I don't want to get angry, or I don't want to get upset, or I don't want to hurt you, I don't want you to hurt me, I don't want to hurt me. All these, you have to be honest. That's why you're going to need to have those conversations to clear the fog. One last message for you both. Number 11, romantic messages. When I look into your eyes, I see the universe and it activates me. Cute. Okay. It's beautiful. You're doing the right thing, you're purging, you're healing, keep going, stay focused, remember that vision ahead, but allow the divine unfold. Yeah, your alignment, your purpose is so important here, so unique. There's a big need for both of you to trust right now, okay? Trust the divine, but not what you know about each other in the 3D. I'm talking about just what's happening within your heart space, okay? Your intuition is beautiful. It's a guiding light, but don't let it mislead you as well, because sometimes your intuition can be mistaken for some kind of the fear or illusion that's beneath the surface, or even like desire, right? The realistic picture ahead, but also what's your body saying to you? What's your internal being saying to you? Or your emotional self? Mentally as well, what's happening? Trust that there's alignment in that. You've got this, right? Don't worry about what's not being spoken and what the silence is. That'll all reveal itself when it's time, when you are ready. Okay, so you've got, this is way bigger than just you two coming together. You have a bigger purpose here, okay? And you're really being grounded into that now, okay? Whatever entanglements divine masculine is in or involved in, he's finding his way out right now, okay? You've got to let him do that. And he's got this. He's just got to check himself, focus, okay? He's seeing more clearly than he has in a long time. Divine feminine, your focus is to release. Your focus is to truly release the heavy emotion, and don't hold on to it. Okay, find your truth. You are someone who needs to be taken care of. Okay, you are fragile, you are one of a kind. That's okay, be vulnerable, but look after you. You've got healthy boundaries too. You have so much strength inside you. You haven't been through this long winding road for nothing. Okay, you're being prepared to, and you got this. Stay in that stability, both of you. Look after you, stay in your light, connect to divine. You got this. Sending love.